Hello and welcome to TreeWalker Talks, episode 80, Priorities. Well, as you know, I took a week off, and we'll talk about that a little bit in the homestead update. So let's kick that off. Okay, so I did take a week hiatus there. I did kind of say I was going to. Took my annual trip up to Michigan, mushroom hunting and time with family, so I needed that week off to do that. Now, and we'll get more into that, into the main topic. But the homestead update. Rain, rain, and rain. Seems like we're getting an awful lot of rain this year. It has been like flooding rain. We get little floods, but nothing like where it's standing. But it's just hard when you get one day off wheat to get out there and mow if it's raining that day. But that rain's really greening everything up out there. So, I can't complain too much. Okay, the other thing, and I found this up mushroom hunting, and for those of you who don't know, to put it easily, I have an allergy to the sun. What I actually have is called polymorphic light eruption, and I'll read you the National Institute of Health thing for it. It's the most common form of immunologically mediated photosensitivity dermatosis, or exposure to sunlight in spring or summer results in an irritable rash that resolves within a few days, providing further exposure is avoided. Mine, I don't know that I would actually call it severe, but it's any time of the year now the sun's getting it. And I break out and it itches like crazy, and it sticks around quite a bit. So if you've seen my videos, you have seen me with the arm coverings on. I have gloves now that make it a little bit easier also. And I found out, sorry, I'm having to pause. I got something, I'm coughing quite a bit again. I found out when I was up mushroom hunting that I had my hair pulled back, and that it is kind of spread. Used to just be my hands and my arms, and I actually said I was going to try this summer and see if I could get it on like my chest or back or anything like that, just by wearing a tank top or something to see. But I don't think I need to do that, because having my hair pulled back in that ponytail, exposing my neck, I broke out on my neck. Not as bad as what's on my arms, but it is itchy, and there are bumps there, and a little disheartening. Makes it difficult when you want to do things outside, and you have to cover your body up to do it. So it is what it is, If I didn't live with neighbors next to me, I'd probably put lights up in the backyard, and I could garden at night, but they might complain on that. I could mow and stuff at night too, but I guess for right now, we'll just keep covering the body and see how it goes. Before we get in the next section, which is making a comeback, tonight's beverage of choice is Schweppes Ginger Ale. Man, it's got good flavor. Okay, we're bringing back What's Growing On. So, this time we've got quite a bit on there. I made a little foray into the backyard as I was mowing, weed whacking, and doing all that, trying to get caught up on the 2 weeks without it. And first off, if you remember, I'd said that out of nowhere, elderberry tree bush, whatever you want to call it, according to the app I have that will tell you what things are, just sprouted up kind of out by my shed. So that was the first thing that popped up. I should say the first thing that popped up that I didn't plant that is actually very beneficial. Now, I have something new that popped up. And I know this one's kind of controversial because it is an invasive thing. But I'm pleased that it's there. So we have a new one. And it is a honeysuckle tree. Let me see. I'm looking. I've got it pulled up over here. It doesn't actually say what the actual name is. But it actually is invasive, like I said. It can kill out the ground around it, that sort of stuff. But the neat thing is it can be used. It can be used for, sorry, I coughed there again. Inflammation and swelling, digestive disorders, skin inflammation and itching, boils and sores, bacterial or viral infections, colds and fevers, and one that I really want to look into is rheumatoid arthritis. So, you know, I mean, it's past the time. A lot of some of it you can use the bark from what I looked at, but some of it is actually the flowers, and it's pretty much the flowers are just about done. But it is also great for pollinators. You know, in early spring it starts to bloom out, so it's one of the first ones that can really give a wallop to the bees. Also, can get hummingbirds. They love it. So, to me, that's a win. Okay, the next one on the list is garlic. My garlic out there is doing great. I'm going to try to get the photos in here if you're watching the video of this. If you're listening to it, then you're not going to see them. But the garlic is probably 4 foot tall. And I went out there. The one, it is weird. Let's just be the way, you know, let's set up. The one is pretty much weed free. And the other one had a lot of weeds in it. Thistles, bardock. I don't pronounce that wrong. It's 10:50 at night, Sunday, May 12th, and I didn't sleep all that good, and I've got something. So my mind's not up 100%. Bardock. I think it's bardock. You can use the roots for making like a coffee substitute. You can use the seeds for things, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. I think it's also called elephant ear. That's what it looks like. It's got the big stuff. That was growing up in it. So we went out there and I went out there and we did that all. Got it. It's looking great. The garlic's really looking good. It's taller than I've ever had it grow, and the scapes haven't even come on yet. This would be the second year for this garlic. So this would be the first garlic that I grew on my property, the seeds from it. So this would be like second generation here. So, you know, it should every year get more acclimated to my climate and work out better here. The next thing, and this one will be a mixed picture if you see the picture with this one and the next one. The comfrey. The comfrey is doing awesome. It is up and it is growing good. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots where it's growing right now. And some of it's already got the little purple flowers. Man, the bees love that. So it's actually about ready to, some of the spots to be cut. So we'll be getting that cut, making some comfrey salve. We're doing a special with the salve for, I think, FFA this year. We're actually going to go step by step and show how to make it. Maybe I'll put that video up on my page 2. That'll be the youngest, who is a junior in high school this year, going to be a senior next year, and she's doing this. Like I said, I think it's for FFA. It could be 4-H, but I think it's FFA, making the salve, because we're going to do lots of different antibiotics. So we're going to do that salve, probably plantains, maybe some elderberry, maybe even some sage tea, just a mixture of everything for it. So that's really doing good. I'm also going to use it for a new mixture for hydroponics. And if that starts working out, we'll do more into that. The second one that's in that picture would be catnip. Catnip has a lot of uses other than just getting cats high. And it's growing really well out there. It's really prolific this time. And I would like to get these into beds so it's easier done, so they're not fully weedy and like mulch in between and that sort of stuff. But, you know, I think I did 3 or 4 loads of mulch last year. You can only do so much, you know, because I got to go get it in the truck, bring it here, unload it, dump it where I want to. It takes quite a bit. Okay, the next thing is the sage that was overwintered out there. It's doing pretty good. You just have to keep an eye on the, I always call it morning glories, but it's like a little vine that has a little buttercup flowers on it. It just chokes all that stuff out. So the sage is doing good out there. I will be taking down my hydroponics in here before too long, and I don't know that it's going to come back up again. I'd like to get everything out in the shed for this coming winter, so we'll see how that works. The other thing that overwintered, and I couldn't even tell this because there were so many thistles in there, and then I weeded them, and this thing popped up. The horehound, it's still there, so maybe we start getting a good amount of that. We'll figure out how to do it, and we'll make some horehound candy together. I love horehound candy. I don't know if anybody else has had it or not, but I love it. The next thing is strawberries. They survived the frost and everything and the cold weather, and as you hopefully can see in the picture, they actually have little strawberries on them. They're green. but there's still buds or flowers too. So far it's looking pretty good there. And then we go to the apple trees. We have 2 apple trees out there, and I was worried because we got a hard frost / freeze after they budded out, after they had the flowers and everything. But it looks like we did lose some on the one. But as I hopefully you can see in the picture here, I've got 2 pictures, so I might flip between those 2. At the ends of the flowers there, they are dying off, there's little apples. So we should at least get some apples. Okay, the next one we'll do, I'm going to switch it around because I want the last one to be this. So let me write that there for my editing. I know, just riveting. Is the overwintered lettuce I told you about. It's pretty dusty, pretty but and it's weird because I think it's called deer tongue lettuce. I could be wrong, but it's kind of fuzzy. But let me tell you, the rabbits love it. So I've been feeding them every time I go out there, a couple of them each. So doing good there. The last one that we're going to cover on this is the kale, the overwintered kale. Underneath it, there's actually some spinach growing. That should be doing pretty good. I need to get some garlic planted out there to counteract the worms and the butterfly or the little moths. So, but look at them. They're flowering out. They're actually going to seed, which is no big problem because the kale, I've got it growing at other places too. We don't use a whole lot of kale. It's another thing I kind of use to feed as fodder to the animals. So I do make soup with it though. I do like a kale soup. But it's doing great. And man, I don't know if I have 2 pictures. I think I have 2 pictures of that. Yeah. So I'll put both pictures up. The second picture, I love it. It's just got the flowers, and then the background, it's kind of fuzzy. But you have zoomed in on the flowers, and that looks great. Okay, so now on to the main topic. And that topic is priorities. Okay, so as you know, I just said I went up north for the annual mushroom hunting, spending time with family trip. When I got up there, my brother, his wife, and my dad were all up there already. They went up like the weekend before me, and I went up on a Thursday. And my brother stayed until Sunday, him and his wife. So we got to go out, and my dad was there, and he got to go out. And then after my brother and his wife went home, then Dad and I were up there alone with his dog. And we went out every day. And just so you know, my father, he's 80 years old. Just had both knees replaced not too long ago. So they're like brand new. Not quite, but... and let me tell you, it was great going out in the woods. It was great talking with him. It was great talking with my brother and his wife. And my dad just kept saying, man, I really had a good time with all of us out there. He says we were laughing and joking like we used to. And it was really great. And I want you all to know, a lot of times when I go up there, I use that time to make video footage of different areas, different things. This year was different. Hence the name Priorities. I made one quick video, and I'll go ahead and put that out. That was just me going down in the Black River. But it was more important to me this year to spend time and talk with my dad and my brother and his wife than it was to make the video footage. Dad put it bluntly. I kept telling him, hey, don't overdo it. You don't have to go out if you don't want to. And as he put it, he goes, I don't know how many more times going out I have in me. He says, I'll still come up as long as I can and stay at camp, but I don't know how many more times I'll be able to go out looking for mushrooms with you guys. And that really hit home. So that was more important than the videos. Spending the time with him, it was priceless. It'll be a time that I never forget. I mean, we went to bed early, we got up early. We don't always get around early, but we got up early, had our coffee, sat and chatted, and we didn't watch TV or anything. Usually we'll watch some shows at night. We didn't watch any of that. We just enjoyed each other's company and talked. And it was great. We talked about how we want to go up later this year, and I plan on it, and go salmon fishing. I've never gone salmon fishing. And to share that with my dad and hopefully my brother and maybe even my uncle, my dad's brother, would be priceless too. Just awesome. So I would like to say that I am sorry that I don't have more footage for you, but I'm not. You know, it's hard to explain. I would like to share things with you guys and that, and I'd love to take you up there, and I'd love for this channel to do great, but sometimes other things take higher priority. And I guess I say this in case you're feeling down because you can't do something, or you put something off because someone needs you, your family needs you, or you know, you plan on doing this and your dad or your mom or sister or brother calls and says, hey, I need help with this. Go over and help them, because you don't know how many more times you have doing that. I saw in a show the one time, I actually think it was Justin Rhodes on YouTube, and he was holding his son on one of those like backpacks, his youngest child. And he says, you know, you never know when the last day that they're going to ride on your back is, or the last day that they're going to hold your hand. It's just one day they don't do it anymore. So you should treat every day like it's your last day of doing that, or of spending time with somebody, or because you never know. So hopefully you got something out of this. Hopefully I didn't just drudge on, and hopefully this hit you in your heart, hit it home, made you feel better about making decisions to not do something and do something with family or that. Because I said, you never know. All right. Thanks for joining me. I hope to see you on the next one. And remember, stay alive out there and keep on surviving.